I am Chandrasekhar here. Of course, you know it, but no. At my age, we have a habit of repeating things again and again. And we are now going to look at the Varga charts. I mean, this is a series on Varga charts, it's a small series. I mean, the time is not much. I'm only going to talk about how I would look at the Varga charts. I have already made it clear that Varga chart will not transgress whatever is already promised in the uh, Rashi chart, as they call it, or Janma Lagna chart, as we call it, natal chart, we call it in English. It won't cross, but it would give some additional flavors, and that is it. I mean, the similes are very easy to understand. If I don't have one finger, it doesn't mean I lose, the use of my hand or I can't use it properly. But there would be some small, problem in using it, that sort of thing. Or if it is strong, if my left hand is stronger than the right arm, that doesn't mean I am a weak person. Maybe on the right side there is a bit of weakness, and this is what is generally to be seen from the uh, Varga charts, as they call it, or divisional charts, we call it in English. And these divisional charts represent amplification of individual bhavas. In certain cases, they also represent something which is at a higher level, like the Upasana Paddhati, the way of worship, etc., etc., as is told by the great Parashara. So now what we are going to do here. Our idea is to find out what additional flavors can be found. I'll share the screen. This is again the chart of Warren Buffett, about whom most of the things are available on the net. You don't have to worry about it. We will look first at what the natal chart tells us, and then we shall go on to find out if something additional might be seen from the Dreshkāna chart, the D3 chart, as they call it. So I'll share the screen here with you. As you will find down below, I have given the Vinshopaka the 20-point strength of individual planets, as usual. Here, since the number that are given to Dreshkāna chart are more in the Shadabala, the 6 strength type of system, we are choosing Shadabala, the 6 Varga Balas, 6 Varga together to find out the strength of planets. I need not repeat that if that strength is between 15 and 20, the results are excellent. If they are a bit lower, that is 15 to 20 to 15 to 10, slightly lower, 10 to 5, much lower, and 5 and below, they are almost of Parashara at least says that they are too weak to give any tangible results. This we are talking about the divisional charts. It can also be used in the natal chart, as we call it. See, using 2 or 3 languages always makes me sometimes stumble on words. I suddenly remember word in a different language. So you have to excuse. So what we see here in the Rashi chart is Saturn aspects the third house, which is house of siblings, isn't it? And a planet malefic aspecting the own Rashi can sometimes have very bad results for the person concerned who is indicated from that house. But here we also see that Jupiter. Remember that in the natal chart, we look at the planetary aspect, whereas in divisional charts, we would look at the Rashi aspects. So let there be no confusion about it. And if I make a confusion, you understand that I have made a confusion. I hope I would. But anyway, so Saturn aspect is third house. But there is some protection from Jupiter. Mars is also there. And in the 11th house, house of elder sibling, you see Ketu. Now, Ketu is said to give up something, but remember, in case of progeny, etc., etc., the Gemini has said Vipratam Ketu. Ketu generally changes the sex. Whatever one is doing, there is a change in there. And here, since Ketu is there instead of male, Ketu being like Mars, will indicate generally. I mean, we think that at least I used to think that it would deliver a male progeny, but it won't. it can give the female progeny. Both are protected. As we can see it, Saturn himself is hermaphrodite. So again, whenever Mars is, what can I say, influence come, he can also sometimes give female instead of male. And so he had two sisters. However, is everything hunky dory? There were not very cordial relation with Mr. Buffett, as you will find out from this chart. So this is it. So this much we can make out. And maybe the younger sister was the last one. So we know that there could be two sisters. Maybe the relations would not be very cordial because ultimately Jupiter also aspects them. So they would not be very bad, but there is some possibility of some sort of, if not friction, at least being distant. Now we go to the divisional chart, the D3 chart as we call it Dreshkāna chart, one and the same thing. So, because it is the third division, so it is called D3 chart. From this we see sibling. Parashara has, specified which chart is to be seen for which purpose. So here what we see, here we are going to apply the Rashi aspects of sign. All cardinal signs aspect fixed signs except the one just adjacent to it. Vice versa for the fixed signs, and the dual signs aspect each other because they don't have any dual sign adjacent to them. So the aphorism is Avipashyanti Rukshani, all Rashi's aspect, the one in front of her. Parshva Bheja, those to the side. That means not immediately in front or immediately behind. And so, and whatever planets are there also aspect the same sign. So planets in cardinal side would aspect planets in fixed signs and vice versa. So we have to understand. So what is happening? Here we see this Dreshkāna Lagna and original natal ascendant and Dreshkāna ascendant happen to be from the same Varga, Sagittarius. This is called generally Uttam Varga when two of the charts among the divisional charts, any bhava or any planet, if they occupy same Rashi, then it is called as the Uttam Varga. So the ascendant becomes Uttam Varga, that is fine, Sun is there. We can say that maybe a bit of friction that was there might be because of ego of the sisters also, that is possible because Sun is there. And that is all. But here we are going to look at again the third bhava and the third karaka. Third bhava is Saturn. Third bhava is Aquarius Rashi. And karaka is Mars. We know that. And what is happening with them? So we again find same thing. See, the third bhava is aspected by Ketu. He is in cardinal sign. Third bhava is fixed sign. Okay. And is anybody else aspecting it? Yes. Saturn also aspects that third bhava. So you have got the identical situation as the earlier one. But this happens sometimes. Otherwise, the planets would be different, the results would be same. So there would be some strain with the systems, etc., etc. is possible. What happens to the, you see that all of them, barring Rahu himself, Rahu has 9.5 points of, the 20-point strength. The rest of the planets have fair amount of strength. They are about 10. So we see, okay, what will happen? Perhaps they will be long lived. They would live for a long time because those bhavas are fortified. So this additional information we can get from this. Whether it will be of great help, I don't know, but anyway. So what happens to the Karaka? That is Mars. Now Mars himself, as you can see, is 8.75. So he is on the lower side of giving effects, isn't it? You know that below 10 to 5 is the least positive effect sort of thing. And This Mars is being aspected by Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury. Mercury is again hermaphrodite. Please remember that. Moon and Venus are female planets. Sun also, with his presence or aspects, has tendency to give female progeny in case of fifth house, and same could be applied to the siblings. So again, siblings are shown, two female planets, one hermaphrodite planet. So almost 3 to 2, which means there is more possibility of having, uh, you know, female siblings, which he did have. If we want to go ahead, then we can also say that Saturn is with Rahu. Saturn is weak. Rahu itself is weak, and this Rahu and Saturn together cast their Rashi aspect on the third house again. So relations with the siblings would be perhaps strained. This is how I would look at it. But would they be very bad? No, because the Lagna, the ascendant, the D3 ascendant and D1 ascendant are same. So there would be bad, but they would not be very pally. Let us put it this way. And this is, I am keeping it short so that information overload doesn't harm. You can see the Shadbalas wherever they are more than 10, the results are better, stronger. As they go on the lower side, there is always some negative in the result. It's not absolutely zero, not below 5. Between 5 and 10, you will find that the results of those planets, whether they are benefic or malefic, their ability to influence the results becomes lesser. Let us say this. This might be more appropriate than just going about saying that they will be bad. The influence will be less because they have less strength. I mean, you are all learned astrologers, so I don't know whether I should give this simile. It is like a, earlier there were cells in the torch. Nowadays they are LED rechargeable, but we used to put the batteries there, and as the battery go down, the light would get dim and dim and dim and would reach. I mean, its intensity goes down. So this is also told by Parashara. It's not my find at all. I'll again reiterate. I generally go for Lagna chart and the natal chart and the D9 chart. In exceptional cases, I might look at the divisional chart to find out whether I am missing something or the chart itself is wrong. Because both the possibilities always exist. Please remember. But one should not go on jumping to the correction of chart and rectification of birth time. I'm a bit against it unless there is some sound reason, which is generally physical, or what I can say, uh, which is more tangible, not intangible. My opinion of how that person is. In case of temper, etc., you can understand, but rest of the things are all subjective. Uh, like I do sometimes have high temper, but if you ask me, I say no, I never lose my temper, which is false. Everybody wants to show his good side to others. So, but my height, my way of walking, whether I'm steady, whether I move about, all those things you can't change. Whether I have a sibling, one sibling, two siblings, etc., etc. These are finite things. They tell us a lot. And so, my dear friend, I take your leave. Do let me know if you like this, because I'm not very sure whether you would like it. I rarely use it, but I want to go through all the 16 divisions with you on Warren Buffett's chart. Only a few people don't hesitate to say that, uh, please stop and we'll do something else, sort of. Okay. So I shall take your leave and a very good night. Thank you very much.